Lauren Sizzle, who do we have today?
So we have WBA pro boxer Raquel Pretty Beast Miller joining us today. Yes.
No doubt. Let me bring her right on. We got the Pretty Beast in the building. How are you?
What's up? I am great. Thank you guys so much for having me. How are you ladies doing?
Doing well.
Good. Thank you. Good to see you.
That's right.
Likewise.
That's right. I'm ecstatic right now to have you on. Not only because you are probably one of my favorite athletes right now. Shout out to San Francisco.
Yes,
absolutely.
LA. Shout out to them over there. We got some friends over there. But just the Black Girl Magic, and you are not just only a dynamic athlete, but you're doing some things in the community. You're doing you're in my scope of work in terms of the fashion, and we gotta talk a little bit about that, because that brand right there is something that's starting to be a nice niche market that's expanding and now becoming pretty popular. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first and foremost, how are you and how was your day today?
My day was great. I'm with my people. The sun is shining. So it's a great day. We got to go and go to the shooting range later. So gonna have
nice.
Oh, wish I could come with you.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Yes.
That's right. Hashtag Black Girl Shoot.
That's right.
That is true.
We gotta get them in there. So let's talk a little bit about, I want to peel back these layers, and something that we say on the show, that this is a safe space, and especially as it relates to us, our people, because we like to make sure that we know that we are not monoliths, and we know that we're not one-dimensional people, and we have layers to us, right? And so what we like to do is just to tell people like, yo, we want to know everything about you. We want to promote you. We want to make sure that you have an excellent time as we do this, right? And so I want you to walk me through your kind of speaking profession / you're the co-founder of a nonprofit, and you're doing so many things as it relates to the community, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. Walk me through that.
So I definitely have my hands in a couple of different pots. I started the nonprofit. My sister is the founder. I'm the co-founder. We started that about it's going on 10 years now, and we felt like I'm from the inner city of San Francisco. There was a lot of violence and just a lot of really unfortunate things going on, and we wanted to be a voice. We wanted to have a safe space as well for girls and young men as well, because we needed that growing up, but we didn't feel like we had it. So we wanted to create it, and that's where Ladies in Power came from. So we're just kind of pouring into our communities, pouring into the lives of inner city youth, and anybody that needs that mental help, mental clarity, mentorship. We're just here because each one teach one.
I know that's right. That's fantastic. Something, as I teach a lot in terms of production and television. And, one thing I say is it's not each one teach one, it's each one teach three, right? And let me explain why it's each one teach three, right? So the first one, you teach that first one, that person might be greedy and take it with them and run with it, right? Mm-hmm. The second person might forget everything that you said, right? It's that third one to say, you know what? I want to take this and let this become a legacy and take the information that you gave to me so I can make sure my people knows, right? And so I always say each one teach three. And I love that, you're thinking about the community, and that's an excellent, I guess, transition to the things that's happening today as it relates to, rest in peace to George Floyd, and you being an activist yourself. What is the feelings, the emotions down there right now in San Francisco as it relates to, Black Lives Matter and just the climate? What's going on down there?
So I am a San Francisco native, but I live in San Diego. So I don't currently live in San Francisco, but I will say that San Francisco and the Bay Area is very, very proactive. That's literally the place that you want to go if you want to, start a protest, get behind a movement. So they've been very active at home. I haven't gotten to go home yet, but San Diego, for the most part, they've been having a bunch of, protests. They've been out here. They've been, making their voices be heard. And so it's a beautiful thing to just see so many people coming full circle and recognizing these issues that have been going on way before, all of the stuff that's on the front hand. It's just like it's time, and it's been time. So it's happening here and all across, the world, and in San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles. We're holding it down out here in Cali.
Yeah, fantastic. Are you in camp right now? Because I know you were. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm listening.
No, I was going to say, are you in camp right now? Because I know, see, I want to get into that later. I'm going to hold that question because I know that, you had some things coming up and, unfortunately, this whole COVID-19 situation happened. So what is that climate like? Because it seems that after this George Floyd thing happened, everybody forgot about COVID-19, right? Exactly. However, but, you and you being a pro boxer yourself, that kind of, turned left a little bit and did a hiccup, and so you had to pull back. But before I get into, your whole box and as it relates to COVID-19 and the people you're around, how are you feeling and how are you staying safe in these times and your family and all that good stuff?
Well, for me, I really think that I don't like the fact that media is not pushing, take care of yourself, take vitamins, make sure that you're on top of your health, make sure that you're on top of your vitamins and, your supplements and just doing the things that you need to do. I was already a person that was pretty clean and washed my hands and felt like I did what I was supposed to be doing. So it's just kind of doing more of that. I've been really fortunate. None of my family have been affected by the COVID-19. So we've been pretty healthy. The gyms closed down out here, so we didn't have access to the gyms for about a month. That was pretty rough, but you have to be innovative. So I went outside and started, getting my workouts in outside and just figured, taking in some vitamin D from the sun and just kind of making it work no matter what. So I think that it's been rough, but I also feel like it also kind of lets you get in tune and get to your books and tend to your family and, pick up some new skills or hobbies. So I've been making the best of it.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm curious. You said you had to get innovative, and I'm thinking about how Rocky was, in the meats and the meat market and hitting the pig. Like, how did you get innovative with not having a gym? And I know you did running probably, but what other stamina or calisthenics could you do?
So I just pretty much did like mountain climbers. I did push-ups. I did sit-ups. I was fortunate to have like a couple of 3-pound weights and 8-pound weight. I had a medicine ball. So I just kind of started doing circuit type of training where I did like 45 seconds on the medicine ball, 45 seconds shadow boxing, 45 seconds push-ups. I would do like, 8 to 10 rounds of that, and just kind of making it happen. I got a TRX band one day and I went to the park and hooked it to a tree and you can get your squats in there. Right. And, just kind of, made it happen, ordered some stuff online. It took forever to come, but, then I got some resistant bands and just kept pushing, and kept figuring it out as I went along.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna make you get your little YouTube channel so you can have people follow your workout. Get these ladies working out. Yeah, we're gonna make sure you do that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so let's talk about what does a pretty beast eat? What is her nutrition like? Her daily diet.
So my transition for people, I just want them to know, like I wasn't always like in the best shape and I wasn't always in the best of health. So boxing really transitioned and changed my life. I lost about 50 pounds before I had my first fight. I changed the way I ate. I got really into just organic foods and natural foods. I've cut out meat. I'm getting close to I'm cutting out seafood now. I do a lot of juicing. My mom just bought me a juicer, which I love. I do a lot of smoothies. I cut out eating breakfast. I just start really trying to get in tune with my body and just recognizing that health is wealth. What you put into your body is ultimately going to be the results that you get from your workouts and how you feel, your skin, your hair, everything is kind of tied together. So right now I'm pretty much getting really close to being a vegetarian. Vegan is a bit much for me. I don't know if I'm going to be going vegan, but I definitely try to do a lot of juicing, a lot of smoothies, a lot of sprouted, bread. If I'm going to eat bread, a lot of avocados. And just I try to stay as natural as I can in regards to just whole foods and not eating a bunch of processed foods.
Yeah, fantastic.
Welcome to Charles' world, because he's actually a vegetarian himself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. I can't. That veganism is a little too rough for me. I'm not.
It is rough.
I'm not there with it, but it's all good, So yeah, so let's peel back another layer, all right? So let's talk a little bit about this brand. You have your Beyonce's with Ivy Park. You have, a lot of people from Nike creating these leisure lines, so to speak, right? And because this is kind of like my scope and my profession as it relates to style and wardrobe, right? I find it very interesting that not only does your brand have uh, an interesting name, right? As it relates to you, Pretty Beast, right? It just looks good, right? So I would like to know, where are you going with this brand and what's next with that?
So the brand is expanding. So initially it started as the Pretty Beast brand, but I'm going to be kind of just rebranding it. It's going to be the PB brand. And, the women are the Pretty Beast, the men are the pure beast. And together we just beast. And I created the brand because I wanted something that represented me. I wanted something I felt like Nike created their dream. Why can't I create my own dream?
Right.
At first I initially wanted to be signed to Nike. And then, after kind of thinking about it and reaching out, I just said, Raquel, create your own space, create your own brand. Like the floor is limited. Like the floor is unlimited to what you can do and what you can accomplish. Like you've always been dope. You've always liked clothing and fashion. So, make it ownership is where it's at. Create your own, to whereas you don't have to be invited to their party. You can have your own. And so that's what the brand represents. It means looking good, feeling good, and being a beast at whatever it is you believe in. It doesn't have to be boxing, but you beast at it and you look good in the process.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's the idea behind it.
Well, you gotta make sure you send some PBs down here, then let us get in the things,
Yes.
Shout out to Pretty Beast Clothing, Pretty Beast Design. So are you sticking with kind of, because it works with what you're doing? And I think that if you have the energy and the people helping that momentum, I think it will really do pretty well. Because you have right now, you guys are winning. Just Black Girl Magic, y'all winning, right?
True, very true. I've been very fortunate. All of the pieces that I have sold out already. I have a new manufacturer. The relaunch is going to happen probably within the next. I should be having the launch at the end of this month. So it's happening. We're including the men's line to the launch, and it's just kind of like some magic going on. I'm very fortunate. Some great things happening. Look out for the website. It's going to be revamped. There's a photo shoot dropping at the end of the month, and we'll have pieces for men and women, and it's going to be dope.
Yeah, no doubt. I can't wait for that one right there. I'm gonna be looking forward. I'm gonna be calling you like, yo, holla at me, man. What's good? What's Gucci?
Absolutely.
No doubt, no doubt. And so, all right, now I guess it's about that time to jump into what you do best. And and that's the thing. I can't even say what you do best. That's why I wanted to start with the other layers of you, right? And what we, what we like to do is to, make sure that the people who we interview are not just talking heads, right? They're just, this is what I do, that's it, but you have more depth and dynamic to you. And I love the idea of the activist and the public speaker and you working with the youth because, we have to support them, right? And right now they on the front lines with what's going on with George Floyd and all of this stuff. So shout out to you with that. And then we're going into the fashion. You have that fashion element, that fashion component to you. Let's talk about first of all, what got you into boxing?
I've always been a fighter. I felt like boxing was always something I'm supposed to do. I'm from the inner city of San Francisco. I did a lot of fighting when I was growing up, and I really wanted to challenge myself and turn a negative into a positive. And I just wanted to see how bad I really was and if I could really fight. So I decided to take my talents to the ring. And that's how I ended up boxing. I challenged myself and said I was going to just lose weight and get healthy and have one fight. And one fight led to about 70 amateur fights and 10 pro fights. And I just feel like it's a part of my path and it's a part of my journey.
Yeah, no doubt. And I see those guns. You seen when she put out here, she had those guns. She got those guns up there. She doing what she do. Let's keep going. You wanted to see how bad you were, and you decided to keep going. So everybody, everyone remember their first fight. What was your first fight, and who was that with?
My first fight, it's so memorable. You have so many emotions. You're so nervous. I can't remember the girl's name, but all I know is it was so funny. Right before I got in the ring, I was telling my coach at the time, I was like, I can't remember how to box. I was like, but I know how to fight. So I'm just gonna go there and I'm just gonna fight. And no lie, from the front to the end of the bell, I never stopped throwing punches. When I was tired, I never stopped throwing punches. I was determined to get that W, and I won, fight of the night for my first fight. Fantastic. And it was just like family all in the building. They were going crazy, and it was just a beautiful. It was the day that I really fell in love with boxing and just realized that it was just something I really love and really want to do.
What's your power punch? Like what's one of your power punches that you normally use?
One of my favorite punches is my left hook. I just like it.
I know that's
and
right.
I throw it pretty precisely. So if I had to pick, it's between my jab and my left hook is my favorite punches.
Now you better duck. You better duck when she throw them at you. One of those things. So, let's fast forward to you winning that belt, unanimous. Now, during that fight, you were fighting at, what was your weight during that fight?
So I fight 154 and 160. And so the title fight, interim title fight for WBA was at 154.
154. All right. And you made your weight, no problem, right?
Yes.
Made your weight.
I would say it was just breezy, but I did it.
No doubt. So you have, you're in that fight. Why don't you walk us through that fight? And were you nervous that maybe you wasn't going to win that fight? Or did you have it, during the third round, you know what, I got this? What was it to you?
Mentally, I'm always going to fight like I'm going to win. Like I put in the work. I haven't cut any corners. I deserve this opportunity, and I'm working my ass off, and you're going to have to take it from me because I'm working my butt off. So you don't have to take it from me because I'm not giving it to you. So I didn't have a long camp for the fight. I had only I got the fight on a 2-week notice. So it was kind of like short notice, but I felt like no risk, no reward. So I worked my butt off and I just said, you know what, let's go do it. And went out there and handled business and came back with that belt.
Wow. I'm hearing that clicking again. I need for you, because we're getting into the meat. I need you to hang up and hit us right back again, because I'm not letting you go before we get into this stuff. But because I want to make sure that the watchers are watching. Hey, there she go, Pretty Beast. So
hi, I'm back.
So pretty much what I was talking about right now, you have a lot of bloggers out there, and this is no hit to ESPN, but you have a lot of bloggers out there that's putting in this work. And if it wasn't for them, a lot of us wouldn't see the boots on the ground of what's actually happening, because I'm sure you can agree when it comes to, even you being able to have access or reach out to have the opportunities you want, it's all political, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that, those politics of boxing, but it's just interesting to see how important people like us are, giving people like you that platform so people can actually see, because you got people some on YouTube sometimes getting more views than ESPN, and it is what it is, right? And so independent media has to continue giving opportunity to people like you to say what they need to say, right? So let's pull back those layers, and I'm still hearing that static, but we want to try to work this thing out, man. Like this young lady right here.
Finally, there she is. I'm back. No technical difficulties, but I'm back. I'm here.
There we go.
No static.
Let's sounds
get to the meat and potatoes of it all. Let me know. I'm ready.
There we go. So I'm walking you through it. I got your hand. Think if I got your hand, I'm walking you through this process right now. So I'm taking you to, you winning your belt decision. Talk to me about that fight.
To be honest, the camp was harder than the fight for me. Like I said, I only had a 2-week camp, so was getting down to it, and it was just pretty much just like grinding. So when we got to the fight, in my mindset, I said, I'm not leaving here without my belt. I already have my space in my suitcase for my belt. So the fighter who I fought, I'm drawing a blank on her name. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
But she was definitely game. She definitely came to win. You know, she wasn't taking no for an answer. So for me, it was really just about strategy. She was a boxer and she liked to move on her back foot a lot. So I could apply more pressure, but the reality of it is, if we're fighting, if I'm pressing the fight and you on the, you know, saying you're on your bike and you're going from side to side, then I'm taking those rounds. So for me and my coach, we pretty much strategized to, you know, knock a couple of the first rounds off. It was my first 10-round fight, and, you know, really take the fight to her at the end of the fight. And by that time, you know, you're going to have to knock me out. You ain't knocking me out. You ain't beating me. So, so pretty much it was more of a strategic fight, but definitely a good fight. For the books, you know, made you think, made me kind of, you know, work in there, work off some angles, work on boxing. So it's a good fight. I was happy that it was over when it was over. You know, it was a rough camp, like I said, because we only had a short period of time, but I handled business and did what I had to do. Came back with my title.
There you go. Walked around, started smiling. As you can see, let me see if I can pull. Look at that. That's the pretty big.
Wow.
Hey.
That face in that body does not look like it went into a fight at all.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Don't want to catch those hands.
No doubt. No doubt. And so let's keep on walking. So now we how many win? We about 10 fights in now. 10-0,
yes,
right?
10 fight ins. Yes, 10-0.
4 knockouts. And for some reason I keep saying 145 is 154.
It's
I apologize for that. I
yes,
want to make
no
sure I
worries.
clear that up for the fans. So 154, you boxing at 160 now, right?
So I go fluctuate between 60 and 154.
Okay. So we know who's in that weight category right now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I gotta bring that up right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the self-proclaimed GOAT of boxing right now, there's nobody else I can see that would be ready to fight her but you, right? But before I get there, let's talk about, you are actually training right now for, who are you training for right now? Because you are actually in camp right now, right? For your fight, and then COVID hit. Okay.
Yeah, so what was supposed to happen is I fought for the WBA interim title, which pretty much Hannah Gabriels has the title. And so that makes me her mandatory. So we're supposed to be working towards getting that fight to happen before the COVID thing happened. And I'm pretty sure the fight is going to happen. That might be my next fight. I'm really excited about it, and I hope so. But that was the fight that was supposed to happen before the COVID thing happened. So we'll see how that goes. But, you know, if that don't happen, I'm right here. I'm ready. Let's do it. You know, line them up. I'm going to knock them down.
No doubt, no doubt. So, you know, all right. So now we getting into the deep waters right now. We're about to swim with the sharks. Now,
let's go.
Yeah. So, you know, it was a lot of talk as it relates to, you wanting to fight Claressa Shields, and Claressa Shields not feeling as if you were ready, right? And she made comments about there were a chance for you to fight her before, and you didn't take those chances, right? It was 2 times. You said no twice. Can you walk me through that story?
Absolutely. I've been waiting for this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I've been waiting for this. So absolutely, I can walk you through that. So just to kind of clarify, so everybody knows what's going on. I actually got offered the pro debut fight for Shields, and they tried to offer me the fight for $8,000. Then tried to negotiate it a little bit and offered it at $10,000. Now, please, just to kind of go backwards, I went to the 2012 games as her training partner. We've had a lot of history in the amateurs. Some of the decisions I felt like weren't just, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not a person who says, "Oh, I won this and that." I don't make excuses for myself, but a lot of times, especially when you're in certain sports worlds, you're fighting more against a name. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about who wins the fight. It's a lot of BS that goes on behind the scenes, but that's neither here nor there. So I got offered the fight for $8,000 to $10,000. And I'm like, are you guys stupid? For one, you know, I'm a silver medalist at the Worlds. I'm a 4 or 5-time national champion. I've been a bronze medalist at the Olympic trials 2 times. So you're not going to disrespect me and all the hard work I put in and try to offer me an $8,000 to $10,000 fight like I'm not a worthy opponent. And so I just thought that was stupid. And not only that, I had a really bad experience working with Rock Nation prior to that. And that fight was under Rock Nation. So I was just like, I'm not really excited at all about wanting to work with Rock Nation again. And so for you guys to even disrespect me and come at me like I would take that fight for $8,000 to $10,000, like that's not a championship fight already. It's like, that was just stupid. So that's why that fight got turned down. The second fight that was supposedly came my way, an opponent fell out or got sick or something like that, and they offered me to fight with a 2-week notice. So the whole notion that I've been turning down all these contracts and all of this is nonsense and it's BS. And my thing is, facts are facts. Come with the facts. If you guys have actually offered me a fight with the full camp, and it's for titles or whatever it is, then let's make it happen. But don't disrespect me with the debut fight for $8,000 to $10,000 like I'm not a worthy opponent, like I don't have the skills to be up in that ring, because I absolutely do. And then don't call me for a last minute fight. Like, what is the point? If you want to fight me, you say you can beat me, you can do all of this, then let's run it up. Let's make it happen. But don't shortchange me and don't make it seem like I'm scared or I'm ducking you. And then let's also get some clarity, because you try to make it seem as if my coach had told her that I wasn't ready. And it's like, don't lie on my coach. Like, if you're going to speak on me, speak facts. If you're going to speak on my coach, speak facts. Now, what conversation might have happened at that time? My coach said that, we're waiting. We want to fight. We want to fight you for the titles. We want to fight you where it matters the most. Now, that's something that my coach probably did say, but to make the notion that my coach said, oh, we're not ready for you and we're waiting. No, we fought in the national, we fought in the amateur several times. You knew we fought to several split decisions. So please don't make it seem like, what it isn't. Like, if you're going to speak on it, speak facts. And I'm not a person that has to hate on somebody or be a negative Nancy. Like, I'm positive, I'm dope in life, you know what I'm saying? In boxing, in real life, I handle my business. So I'm not even that type of person, but you're not finna try to slander my name, try to make people not like me, try to make like I'm a bad person. Like, this is boxing. Don't get it, don't get it confused. I'm a competitor in every sense of the word, but don't disrespect me and then try to make it seem like somebody hating on you or lying or making excuses. Like, this boxing game is really shady with a lot of nonsense that goes on behind the scenes. And then people try to, media can spin some things, or somebody can make it seem one way when they know that's totally the opposite of what it actually is.
Yeah, no doubt. And I wanted to give you that opportunity because I felt that all of the interviews that you have done, they really didn't allow you to express. No, I'll take that back, because you did do a few interviews that, they gave you that platform for you to kind of express that. Do you feel like it's anything else that you felt like that you didn't have the opportunity to say, or for people to actually understand as it relates to that situation?
More so than anything, let's get it on. Let's make it happen. It's like we've been talking, we've been going around in circles. At the end of the day, I'm right here. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? We ain't got all day. So it's like all of that shoulda, coulda, woulda, and all that what happened in the past, that's dead now. I'm 10-0. I'm right here. What's up? And that's that on that.
No doubt.
So it's like, if you ain't talk about a contract, then don't bring me up. Straight up, because I'm tired of the hating. I'm tired of the nonsense. Like, you're supposed to be the GOAT, and shut me down. Prove it.
No doubt. So with that, right? With that said, her feeling that you're not worthy enough. She mentioned a couple of people. I know she mentioned Hannah Gabriel, Tori Nelson, and a few others. Would you feel the need to box them before you felt worthy enough, so to speak?
I've been worthy. So let's clear that up right now.
Yeah.
I've been worthy. She knows I've been worthy. The boxing world knows that I've been worthy. Just because I haven't had the platform that you have, don't get it twisted. I've been worthy. I've been right here, and you know that just as well as I know that, because if it was so simple, then you would dust me off and I would be another name on your resume. So if it's really nothing, then make it nothing. But, so we're not going to even play that game. But I will say, she's not the only fighter. There's other talented women fighters out here, and there's other great fights to be had. I would love to fight Hannah Gabriels. I would love, unfortunately, I actually tried to get a fight with Tori Nelson, and a lot of times it's not always up to the fighters. So I will be very specific about that. I was trying to really get this fight with Tori Nelson. It was for a title back in I think last year in December. And I was really upset that the fight didn't go through. And so I seen Tori Nelson online and I made a statement and she was just like, well, you guys turned down the fight. And, we basically, she said like, we was going to fight you. We wanted to fight and then your team turned down the fight. So, I had to get on the phone and call my team like, hey, what's up? Are we turning down fights? Did they, and so it ended up turning out that we couldn't get the fight on the actual, I think it was Wilder's undercard. So it wasn't, so I will, to give her that. I don't know what happened, but we all ready to go. We in camp, we thinking we getting a fight, we training, I get a call saying that, how they worded it to me was as if they didn't take the fight. So was it money? Was it date? What was the specifics? I'm honestly not sure, but I just do know that we tried to make that fight happen. And like I said, I would love to fight Christina Hammer, Hannah Gabriels, Alicia Napoleon. There's some dope girls out here that I'm ready to run it up. I'm ready to make it happen. And I just hope that the promoters give us the opportunities to make these fights happen, because it's not as much as like people say, oh, let's fight. But it'd be a lot of nonsense that goes on behind the scenes that is really stopping those fights from happening. I feel like it's holding women boxing back as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, that the politics in boxing is really interesting, and it's something that you can't get around. Are you still signed to Rock Nation?
So I've never been signed to Rock Nation. I was one of the first females that fought on their card. I fought on the Andre Ward card in Oakland. So we were the first two women to fight on the Rock Nation card. I was never signed to Rock Nation. They offered me the Shields debut fight, and I turned it down. Like I said, I didn't have a really good experience with them the first time. And then when they offered that fight, I was like, okay, well, even, we even considered taking the fight. We're like, okay, well, does that include like, do we get any type of TV time? Do we get any type of exposure? Do we get to fight, for a title to make it worth it? And everything was no. So it was like, why? That doesn't even make sense. So no, right now I'm signed to Lou DiBella. And I've been signed to Lou DiBella for a little bit of time. So I'm hoping that under this contract, Lou DiBella can make it happen. Because right now, I'm at a point in my career where, there's some talented girls out here, but nobody wants to fight, put their record on the line or put their titles on the line if it's not going to be TV. Yeah. So that's up to my promoter, to really make that happen. So we're really hoping I'm really hoping that happens, within the next year, especially the COVID thing kind of put everything on hold, but it's time to go get it. So whoever they put in front of me, then that's what it is. And I'm cool with that too.
I know that's right. The Pretty Beast, ladies and gentlemen, man. You heard it first. You heard it like, she cleared the air. So there's no more questions there. She's not ducking anyone, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't have to duck. I don't have to do any of that. Like, I know who I am. And a lot of times I don't really speak on nonsense because I just try to, like we're all women in this game. And my job is not to tear nobody down. My job is to go in there and handle my business. Like I'm the pretty beast. I'm outside the ring. I'm pretty. I'm doing my thing. And I don't have time to hate. And when I get in the ring, it's all beast mode. So for me, I don't really have to resort to, powerful people don't have to be petty, period. And I don't have to be petty. I don't have to be anything like that. I just got to go handle my business. But I won't allow people to speak ill on me and act like I'm, scared of you or you ducking it. Nah, bring up the facts or don't speak on me.
I know that's the
Do you feel like now, with the Black Lives Matter and the movement and the protests and, people coming out to support Black people, do you feel in the arena of women boxing that Black women boxers should support each other more, or how do you feel about that?
I think that with everything that's going on, for one, it's really hard for us women fighters as a whole, as a whole, especially for us Black women fighters. So it really does us no justice to be trying to tear each other down or try to diminish the next person's accomplishments, when at the end of the day, of course, it's a sport that we're competing against each other and it's a fight. So it's a little more personal. But then at the same time, if you try to act like everybody is so down here and you're way up here, who are you going to get in there and fight? You going to punch yourself in the head? So it's like, to me, we don't have really no space for that. Now we can have some, back and forth about what we're going to do and all that. But when it comes personal, and you really start trying to tear down a person's character, that's whack to me. And that just shows, who you are on the inside, in my opinion. I really hope that this really shows a lot of the promoters and, the other people that are behind the scenes that are calling the shots and making these fights happen. Like, you guys are really doing the fans a disservice. There's so many girls out here that's talented, that's ready to go. And you guys are making these fights happen, especially the Black, women fighters. We don't have nobody really having our back and holding it down for us and giving us opportunity. You have promoters that really won't fight us, don't allow us to be on their shows. And it's 2020, like it's 2020. You got fighters, promoters, we don't really want no women fighters on the show. You got promoters that'll really push a certain ethnicity of women, over anything, where it's just like, it really needs to get spoken on. It really needs to get talked about, because it's really an issue. It's really a problem, and we're really being discriminated against in a lot of ways. And that's honestly what's happening.
Wow, I didn't even look at it that way. And interesting. That's I never even thought about.
Because you got to understand how, just so you guys have a clear understanding of what I'm saying. You'll have certain promoters who have an association with, say, ESPN or say Showtime or something of that sort. And if their boxers, aren't, if there's no diversity there, then that's the only fighters that they're pushing. So, you have all these talented fighters, but then they're only pushing one or two fighters. And then, how do you ever grow the sport? Or how do you ever, get to the next level where you take somebody like Dana White in the girls in MMA? He decided to share the platform equally and say, if you can fight, if you have people that want to see you fight, I'm going to allow you to fight. And I'm not going to market you as a female MMA fighter. I'm going to market you as a female fighter. Mm-hmm. And if you're more popular than the guy that's fighting on this card, then you get in the main event spot. And then that allowed the women to go to the next level. And now a bunch of people know who the MMA fighters are. But they have a big following and they have the exposure because they're being properly promoted.
Wow. So for Black women fighters,
White. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, for Black women fighters, it's more than just a fight. It's also a fight for a seat at the table.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to change that. Well, at the very least now, it'll have people at the very least questioning what's going on, because I think people didn't even think of it that way. And I'm glad that you brought that up. And shout out to Dana White, because I do think he gave the opportunity for people to broaden that scope, which is interesting. Would you ever think about MMA or fighting in that arena?
No, punching is enough. I don't really want to be kicked in the head. Not for me. I'm going to fight after the fight. You kick me in the head. So, no. Ain't nobody got time for that. I respect them. No. And then I got issues with people being all close to me. Y'all, no, absolutely not. My mom would kill me. She hates that I fight anyway. So let me tell her I'm about to start kicking and elbowing. She gonna just disown me. So no. She gonna disown me and pass out. Say, Raquel, I am sick of this. So no. No MMA.
Well, that's a good segue into what we were talking about earlier regarding boxers coming back into the ring. What's your opinion on? Did you hear about the Mike Tyson possibly coming back? What's your opinion on that?
I think that boxing is a very taxing sport. I think that once you hang your gloves up, you should leave them gloves hung up, especially when you already have an amazing legacy. But who am I to put somebody in a box and tell them what they should or shouldn't do? So if he does come back, I would like to see him come back and fight somebody like Holyfield, because they're, that's kind of like similar. Right. But please don't come back, Mike Tyson. I absolutely love you, and you're one of my favorite fighters. I don't want to see him fight some active young heavyweight and, he get hurt or knocked out. I'm going to be sad about that. So if you do come back, please fight like a Holyfield or something like that. I think that that's a cool, legacy fight to have. But outside of that, no, I don't really want to see that.
Yeah, what about Laila Ali coming back?
I think it's the same thing. Like Laila, you have your legacy, you have your titles, but it's a lose-lose situation for you, to me, because it's like, don't get in the ring with these girls. We're active, what I'm saying? It's a different time for boxing. And even though I think that she's talented, I think she could probably hold her own. I think that you best leave your gloves hung up and just do your thing. Keep shining, keep getting your money. You've been there, done that now. So, it's a new age and it's a new breed of women out here, and, give us the floor. I know, of course, I know about the whole Shields and the Laila thing, but I think they should leave it at the talking and come see me. And, make the fights happen with the girls that are out here right now that are excited for these opportunities. But, we'll see what happens. But no, I'm not interested in seeing that fight either. I'm interested in being a part of that fight. Like we talked about.
So if you had somebody like someone big that's willing to put that money up and willing to endorse and support you to make whatever fight happen for you. If this was your appeal right now to say, yo, I need that fight with Claressa Shields, what would that appeal be?
What the fans are waiting for, we're waiting for. We've been asking for that fight. It's been a whole bunch of back and forth. And it's like, what more do you want from me? Let's make it happen. Like we're here. I'm 10-0. We've been asking for it. We've been waiting for it. It's been a lot of speculations, and I think a lot of fans want to see it. And I think that women boxing needs this fight. So I'm like, what's happening? Let's do it.
There you go. I love it. So
you got the receipts. Like, that's it.
It's clear. Only got a couple questions for you. I know I took a lot of your time, and I really appreciate you giving us that time. So one thing that I like to do on We Talk Weekly is throw a curveball, right? So I want you to get prepared, right? So I want you to tell We Talk Weekly the one thing that no one else knows about Raquel the Pretty Beast Miller that you can tell us right now here on We Talk Weekly.
That's a good one. What? Something that no one else knows. The world doesn't know it as much, but if I wasn't boxing, I probably would be a veterinarian. It's just something that's really near and dear to my heart. So if I wasn't boxing, I probably would be a veterinarian. And let me see. I'm scared of the ocean water. Random, scared of ocean water. What else? I don't know. I gotta think a little bit more on that. That was a good one, but kind of like, what would I be doing? I think about that pretty frequently. Like, what would I be doing, or what am I gonna do after boxing? And I'm probably gonna go on vacation for like a year. Go off the grid.
No doubt.
I could see that though, the veterinarian. I could see that.
Yeah, I love animals, so that's probably definitely what I'd be doing. And I just want to thank you guys for sharing your platform with me, allowing me to just come and tell my story. I think that it's amazing what you guys are doing. We need, like you said, we need media like this that's really sharing our stories, because it's obvious that we're not being allowed to really share our stories on other platforms. So thank you for giving me this platform. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I love what you're doing. I'm happy to be on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everything that you're doing. And we're your biggest fans, and anything you feel that we can do here in Philadelphia or We Talk Weekly, we're definitely here for you. And before I let you go, you just have to do two things for me. Sure. The first thing is make sure you can let us know, let our people know how they can get in contact with you, how they can find you, all your social media stuff.
Absolutely.
And then the last question that you have to do, and promise you'll do it for me.
Yes, I'll do it.
There we go. You got to give us a drop. There you go. Give us a drop. And before we let you go, so we can have that in, and make sure you send us some of that PB stuff. That's what we want.
I got you. Send me your size, and I definitely got you, because I have some stuff coming soon. So thank you, everybody. I'm Raquel Miller, the Pretty Beast. You can catch me on Facebook under Raquel Miller. You can catch me on Twitter under Miss Pretty Beast. I'm on Instagram under MS.Raquel Miller. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I got the line dropping soon. My nonprofit organization is ladiesempowered.org. The PB brand is launching really soon. It's relaunching, and it's about to be super dope. Keep on the lookout for that. Shout out to you guys for being so amazing. I appreciate you so much. And then I get to do the drop now too.
There you go. Waiting on you.
Yo, shout out to We Talk Weekly. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. Thank you for sharing your platform with me. I appreciate you guys. I love you. We Talk Weekly, baby.
There you go. We Talk Weekly. We in the building.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you for coming in. And we always say, once you at the show, anytime you want to come on, you already friends to the show. So anytime you want to come on, you want to clear something up, you want to use us as your platform, we're here. And we love you to death. And thanks for coming on.
Love y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Queen. Oh, that was awesome.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, no doubt.